All right, round one of the draft officially in the books, which means it is time for winners and losers. I will be doing another video where I talk about the losers, but I figured let's start off positive. Let's get into the 7 biggest winners of the first round of the NFL draft, in my opinion. Actually, before I get into the list, I just want to mention that, just to clarify, I am not necessarily saying the 7 teams that got the best player. What I'm going to do is who maximized their pick on the board the best, or there are several picks on the board their best, or trades, or whatever. That's kind of what I'm looking at. So like Cam Ward would have been the number 1 prospect on my board. I am not going to be having them as winners because we all expected the Titans to select Cam Ward. I'm essentially saying from what I thought was going to happen night 1 to what I thought was going to happen yesterday to what happened today, who came out the best. That's kind of how I'm viewing it. So yeah, let's get into the list. Number 7, I'm going with the Bills, and as I said, this is my opinion. So a big part of this is simply just my feelings on the player Maxwell Hairston, who I just think is a great player. Yes, he's not coming off of a great year, but that's kind of how corners work. They don't just continue to be great and better and better and better every year. They'll have up years and down years. The guy's traits are ridiculous. He can keep up with some of the guys from Kansas City, right? And I think could be a great corner and fills a need. So he was projected to go 34th. So it's not like you got a big reach here or anything, but it's just a move I like. So I'm going to put them on the list at 7. At 6, yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs made a good draft pick. Sorry to all the Chiefs haters out there, but yeah, I like this one. Josh Simmons, who projected to go 26th. He ends up getting selected at 32 because of the Eagles and Chiefs trade. So they actually traded back a pick and still got the player that a lot of people didn't think would still be on the board, and they need to protect Mahomes, getting an offensive lineman who should be able to do that. When you get the player you want, that you weren't sure if it was going to fall to you, and you were able to get extra draft capital on top of it, hard to call you anything but winners. Number 5, I decided to go with the Browns, and I kind of went back and forth on this. I was like, do I want to go to Browns? Do I want to go to Jaguars? Do I want to go with both? Like, it's a weird situation, because I do ultimately, like, traditionally, trading down in a spot like this from 2 to 5, if there's not an elite level quarterback on the market, is like traditionally just a great move. Obviously, Travis Hunter is different because he plays 2 positions. So is he 2 players, essentially? That's where things get interesting. But ultimately, a lot of people don't think he's going to play 2 positions for at least not. A lot of people don't think he's going to be out there for 2,000 snaps, right? He's probably not going to be out there for 1,700. He might not even be out there for more than 1,100. So the Browns decide to trade, and I just think they got a lot of value. I mean, they're getting the Jaguars' first round pick next year. That could be a very good selection if the Jaguars don't have the jump that they're hoping that they have. They also got pick number 36 in this year's draft class, and then they kind of traded some other stuff as well. But that's the main thing. And they still got pick number 5. They got Mason Graham, who I think will be a great player. Like, I just think this is the right move. So, yeah, I like it a lot. I'll put them as winners. Number 4, you better believe I have the New York Giants as winners. Not everyone would. Not every Giants fan would. But ultimately, it just comes down to... So, first off, Abdul Carter at 3, the right pick. He was the right player there. They trade up to get Jackson Dart. They don't get Shadir Sanders here. And I'm just going to be honest... I think he's the better player, Dart is. I like Dart more. I had Dart as quarterback 2 on my board, and I had him going kind of around this spot. I think he was worth around this spot. I actually think he was worth maybe a couple picks earlier. So getting him at 25, trading up for this, to me makes sense. He's going to sit for a year. You're going to have Russell Wilson, play, and we'll see what he can do. But ultimately, quarterbacks are so important. Don't just waste a year. And that's kind of what Wilson would be if you went that route, I think. So, I don't know. Again, people just disagree about Dart. I think he's an underrated prospect, so I have no issue with selecting him here. Number 3, the Denver Broncos. Man, I just loved getting Jody Barron, the corner out of Texas. I just thought it was so smart. I just think that he's going to be such a good player for them and to help complete that defense, which, again, was one of the best, if not the best defenses in football last season. They continue to build on their strengths, which, like, hey, if you're getting a player of Barron's caliber at pick 20, like, it's smart. I like it. Do things like this. Teams should build on their strengths more, focus on what makes you great, and that's what makes them great. Number 2, yes, I have the Panthers. The Panthers and the Giants, 2 teams I notoriously criticize, both make my winners list because They had, with pick number 8, there was a lot of talk of what do you do? Do you go with edge rusher? Do you go with Jalen Walker? And I just think it was smart to just get the number 1 receiver. Bryce Young, poor Bryce Young, has had to deal with a tough situation in Carolina, and I think that while it wasn't necessarily just that early on in his career that made him look bad, like he did need to play better as well. We saw that he was able to make the most of it once he came back from being benched. But like, listen, Adam Thielen did some really nice things. Are we really relying on Adam Thielen again, who's he's 34 right now, and even so, like, okay, now Adam Thielen can be more of a role player, which is what you want. You want a guy who could win on the outside. McMillan has that potential. I just think this is a smart move. And again, given the way this could have gone, I just think it makes sense. And number 1, I am going with the Philadelphia Eagles selecting Jahad Campbell with pick 31. Now, they traded up a selection with the Chiefs. I'm just assuming there was somebody else who was trying to trade with them, and they didn't want that to happen. Someone else was trying to get Campbell, and the Chiefs kind of created a bidding war to see what they wanted. The Chiefs wanted a tackle, so trading 1 pick kind of allows you to still guarantee you can get the player you want if you're Kansas City. But ultimately, while we can sit here and say, well, where is Campbell going to play right away? That's how the Eagles operate. They don't really care about positional need. They just draft the best player available. And again, this is how the Eagles are able to consistently be so good, is they simply just look at the board and say, you are the best player. If I'm drafting up for need, I am getting a player who will not be as good. And that's typically how they operate. And they consistently get top 15 picks, top 15 values when they're drafting in the 30s, or if they're drafting in the 15th, then they get top 10 values. If they're drafting 9th, they get Jalen Carter, right? That's just kind of how they operate. So yeah, huge fan of what they did. They are, in my opinion, the biggest winner of round 1. But yeah, that's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video and want to hear more of my thoughts, well, for one thing, you can check out my movie channel. Yes, I have a movie channel. You can check the link in the description below. I do some fun things like some movie reviews, even some TV show reviews, tier list, fun things like that, so you can check that out. Also, make sure that you are subscribed and paying attention to this channel, as there will be plenty of draft content. I plan on making a video for every first round pick, many of the other picks throughout the draft, and also I will do recaps for each team after the draft is over. So I will eventually talk about every single pick from your favorite team. Be on the lookout for that, as it will be out this weekend. And also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter. I am at Jackson Kruger, or X, whatever you prefer to call it. But yeah, that's all I got. Thanks again for watching till the end of the video.